What is up, bros? With Josh here. In today's video, we're going over a fun game I had in the Jean Bart. I was playing my alt account. We bought some higher tier ships, so I was in dire need of some credits. And probably my go-to ship for farming credits, especially on my alt account, is the Jean Bart. One, I love playing this ship. Two, it's extremely strong. Three, it tends to farm a lot of damage because you use both ammo types a lot. And yeah, all those just turned into a wonderful tier 9 ship that you can end up getting for free, which is actually quite nice. But this one was, first of all, just shows off the strength of this ship, and ended up having a pretty awesome game, and really the stars kind of align, and you'll see what I mean when it comes to the kind of the second half of this game. The first half of the game isn't too exciting, but the second half of the game shows how strong the Jean Bart can be. But I'm interested in what you guys use for what's your go-to farming ship when you are down credits. I know a lot of people are going to say Missouri, so be a bit more creative than the Missouri. We all know the Missouri is the best, but a couple of my ships, I think I love playing the Asashio. Yes, Troll, we just posted that video a little while ago. Jean Bart, probably my other one. On top, like, those are probably my top two for ships. Both fun. I find them very fun to play. Jean Bart, my go-to if I really need it, and we actually made a decent amount. Main thing is how much credits you earned is mainly determined by how much damage you do, and not that other premium ships are you know, bad at doing lots of damage and earning lots of credits. I find that the Jean Bart, because you use both HE and AP so much, you tend to farm a lot of battleship damage, so kind of why it's relatively strong. But this one, I love French ships. Main reason why I love French ships is because of their speed. And speed, what I mean is being able to flex from one side to the other, and this is exactly what this ship does late game. As you see, what will end up happening is, on especially Sleeping Giant or other maps like this, one team will go to one side, or you know, one lemming to one side, or it's a split. You know, it's kind of a coin flip what's going to happen. Already we're up to 20k too on stuff that's all 24 kilometers away, and ended up the enemy team all went to the D side, and I was spawned on the A side. So this is what I kind of love about this ship. We got to do a little bit here and hopefully save our Yugumo if we can, but we really kind of need to push. If we don't push, our team's just gonna get absolutely slaughtered, because as you see, we have two tier 9s battleships. We have a tier 9 destroyer, or Atlanta, that is running out there, but we kind of need to take care of these ships as much as possible, because we are going to have some trouble because of the other side getting absolutely swamped. They have basically everything. But a nice little kill on their tier 9 DD, and then we can start working down this Alsace. There is one downside, one of the major downsides of the Jean Bart, which is the smaller caliber shells. Tends to do kind of bow on. You're not going to break too much stuff. You're not going to kind of overpen. Let's say if you're in the Missouri or the Musashi, especially the Musashi, you can kind of overmatch a lot of stuff. You can kind of do a lot of damage regardless of angle. This is where the Jean Bart is kind of its weakness. And if you actually played the arms race season, it was kind of funny because Buffaloes would really pick on the Jean Bart because they would just bounce a lot of their shells if angled correctly. But best thing about having small shells and a fast reload is you have the #1 ammo, so it doesn't matter if they're angling or not. You just light them on fire, and that's what we'll do a lot this game. But if you can get into spots where ships are broadside, spoiler alert, all the battleships on the other side of the map, you can really pump out a lot of damage. But as you see right here, the mini-map, the Iowa's behind me, the Atlanta's here. We need to keep rolling because, as you see, the entire map in the bottom right corner, heading east, already on the east side, heading east. Now on, so there's only the Alsace as well as the Otago, and the Alsace has rotated south. So mainly what we're going to do right here, as you see, our Alsace, because it's going down over there, we are up the 1DD, but they are completely outnumbered, not only by number of ships, but just straight up tonnage with how many battleships are over there. So, and we also have a Missouri that is coming our way, which isn't the best thing in the world. So we have our two tier 9 USN ships heading this way. You probably should have turned back, would have been a little bit better. Our Atlanta popping radar for no reason, but pretty much the plan right here is to not roll around the outside. I'm just going to use this whole area and cover myself, and then just start peppering. One thing I can do is post up right along this island. We're not going to give our broadsides. We're not going to take damage as we're coming in, and we can get those juicy broadsides on all these battleships. They do have one destroyer that's undetected. Obviously, he's probably capping right now, since they are capping the cap with nothing else spotted. But still don't want to give up my broadside to anything else. Jean Bart's, if you are aiming correctly, can be citadeled right on the front guns usually, is where you can get some good solid salvos. Obviously from this far away though, we're just going to mainly focus on shooting HE. I know a lot of people were like, oh, AP would have potentially done more damage, blah 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 blah, but how I see it is I'm so far away, I want to help my team over there force repairs. And I talk about force repairs a lot on stream. We play all these games live on twitch.tv. Come check us out if you want. Did this game live on stream. Is force repairs is extremely strong when you are helping out your teammates. And what that basically means is lighting things on fire. We all know those battleship players that repair one fire, or if you get lucky and get 2 fires on a ship, yada yada, whatever the situation is. What you can do is really help a team by forcing repairs on a ship, and then they will burn for the entirety of the durations. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying forcing repairs. And as you see right here, I'm even debating going around the outside, but since he's rolling out, I don't really want to chase him. He does have a torque boat. I'll probably eventually die from stuff, and we really need to get as much pressure as we can on this because our other side is just completely losing. If we had the little mod where it was showing health pool, I bet you they would be up pretty heavily right now, maybe 50-60k, which is an entire ship, because as you see, almost all their battleships are almost full life besides the one in Missouri. The Jean Bart's taking a little bit of damage. Everything's kind of taking some damage, but we're going to go back to our original plan, which is hugging this island and really not taking too much damage as we continue across the map, because the best part is we will have protection. Well, I go a little bit too far to the left, but we'll have a decent amount of protection and be able to pump out damage while moving across, which is the most important part. We're kind of playing catch up right now. So as you see, this is one thing that a lot of players, and our battleships right here are a perfect example of what not to do and what too many people do. It's actually a really good example of just purely looking at the minimap. As you see, our team, they lemminged this side. Lemmings aren't always the worst thing in the world if you keep moving, and that's the problem. But these guys are continuing on and chasing the dream of potentially killing this Atago. So they are almost worthless this entire game. So luckily we got into the spot we did. But one thing you need to do is look at that minimap and then attack and push straight across. These guys are dragging it out, and they're only going to be able to drag it out so much. There are no big heavy hitters that side, battleship wise. All the rest of them, the other 2 that were over there, the Jean Bart and the Alsace, they both died. So it is up to us to rotate faster. So those the Iowa and the Missouri are basically useless this entire game. So I kind of saw that and said, hey, I need to push and get things done. We got the DD though, which is really important because that's one less threat I have to worry about. And because I can give an Atago my broadside, I can give all these other ships my broadside. And so here we go. This is where the fun starts. And yep. Small shells don't do very good bow in, but they do quite well when things are giving you broadside. And as you see, they are lining up. We have a Soyuz Russian battleship, which tends to get absolutely obliterated broadside. That's the weakness of these lines. We have a Jean Bart, we have a Missouri, we have a Seattle, an Alsace, and nothing really has shots on me. The only thing that's going to really be able to get any damage on me from this angle is the CV, and we're relatively high AA next to an Atlanta. So it's time to just start wrecking fools. Just watch the Citadel count as we go up. And the main reason this is happening is because of our positioning. Look where the Iowa and the Missouri are. They're literally adding nothing to this game. They're going out and maybe doing some damage to that tier 8 cruiser. So that's 2 tier 9 battleships for a tier 8 cruiser. Look at what I'm able to do and not get anything in return or any damage in return. One of the main things is that I love doing with the Jean Bart too is I do take AFT on it. I do not take the module for extended secondaries though, because I want the guns to be as accurate as possible because they are so punishing. But I want to get my secondaries into the fight because, especially from this side, I can do a lot of damage on them without really taking much because they aren't focusing. But look how perfect of a spot this is. I was so happy when I was playing this game. So happy because it just lined up. This is a Jean Bart's wet dream because everything is so broadside. Cruisers broadside, battleships broadside, everything. And nothing can return fire on me. I even thought about kind of sitting here and camping, but I had to be a tad more aggressive on it because those guys were just getting kind of dragged north. but it's such a it's a wonderful thing. It's like a pot of gold. It's fish in a barrel when it comes to this. As you see, our Iowa and Missouri are finally getting into a spot where they can do damage, finally getting near a cap because they went all the way around. Again, this is a good lesson on what to do versus what not to do. I'm surprised I didn't do more damage on that salvo. I remember that one salvo. I was like, come on, give me more than that. But this is a perfect example of what to do versus what not to do. They went all the way around. It happens so much, and it's just a complete kind of, what's the right way of saying it? It's a complete just the lack of any kind of situational awareness, which is something that a lot of people tend to have in this game, so it's not too surprising. But you can see my impact on a game versus the other two tier 9s, and really, sorry Seattle, this is what's going to end up happening. And also, I think I even looked over here, and the one ship that could have got me with a broadside, which was, I believe, the other Alsace, didn't even have its guns on me. So it was when they asked streamer privilege, I mean, look at this. Come on. He's not even looking at me. I mean, this is just beautiful. And another two Citadels, 166k, just like that. I mean, you can't ask for a better situation than this. But we do know that the Seattle is pushing in. We do know that the Missouri is also pushing in. So I'm thinking, all right, as long as we do a little bit of damage here, we do have the reload booster, and this guy's just going to sail broadside. So we'll give you some of those, friend, and you know what? We'll help you out, get you back to port as fast as you can, because we want 200k damage anyway, because we're trying to make some credits. So, oh, well, what a nice guy. Turn in a little bit more. Well, that makes it... Come on, working. You know I did better than that. Come on now. So, all right, he'll go back to port in just a tad. But a bit of a bummer there on that reload. Things we do have to worry about, though, is the St. Louis. That's the only thing that really has torps over here. But now we are putting that counter pressure. As you saw, we cut across the map, and we were able to put a bunch of damage in while moving across. About 150k damage as we moved across in just a few minutes. As again, our Missouri and our Iowa still not in any situation. But what are we going to do here? St. Louis coming in, trying to drop the torps, aim right onto those front turrets. And he didn't quite have the luck as the Seattle. So we'll take our Dev Strike for the game right here. Again, working on the Alsace and trying to find a good position to keep on pushing. But really, this was kind of just overall a fun game because it's Jean Bart. Love the ship. And it kind of just shows what some good map awareness can get you and good positioning can get you on a ship that in overall is, in my opinion, pretty dang strong. But it's just a fun one to play, and how impactful just a single battleship was able to do. Again, look at our other two tier 9 battleships. They are still completely out of this game, completely oblivious to what's going on. And we were able to push across and pretty much work down an entire team, pumping over 240k and climbing. We're getting an salvo here, and I want to shout out to all the paid actors apparently in this game for all just sailing broadside and not doing any damage. But right under the front guns, we know that's where the Citadels are. So that gets us up to 11 Citadels on the game, 18 planes, a whole bunch of target hits, 264,000 damage. And with a lot of damage like that comes a lot of credits. As we saw, we were running the Gamescon camo as well as all the flags. So we needed credits. We got credits, over almost 1.5 million credits. Confederate, Dev Strike, High Caliber, all the good things. 11 Citadels from the Jean Bart, a blast to play. And 264,000 damage. Just had a really fun one. Kind of wanted to show off a couple things though. Just wanted to see what you guys use. You guys have a new go-to? Do you rotate in premium ships? What do you kind of have? There's more and more. It seems like every month or so we're testing 5 or 6 new premium ships. And are you rotating them in? Do you have a tried and true premium ship that you love to farm in? Mine again is probably the Jean Bart. Throw the Asasho in there every once in a while. Even the Lazo is pretty decent too. But just kind of throw them in and get some credits real quick. But I'm interested in what you guys use on a consistent basis as your premium farming ship for credits. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.